Okay. Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for being there today. So today we'll talk about customer story with Arnaud. I will first present myself. So I'm Augustin Renesch. I'm a business analyst at Idealis Consulting. And so today we'll talk with Arnaud about customer experience, about how to scale with Odoo, but what is the human side beside the digitalization of an international multi-company group, which Arnaud will talk about. First of all, you can already scan the QR code during the talk. If you have a question, you can already put it in the pad notes, and we will, at the end of the talk, we'll read all your questions and answer to your questions. So don't hesitate to take a second to scan it. Write your question during the talk if you want to. So I will let Arnaud introduce himself.
Yes, thank you very much, Augustin. I'm Arnaud, head of finance and IT at Asquan. We have been empowering business beauty brands since 2016 with the help of designing, producing, ensuring quality and logistics for everything that is packaging in makeup and skincare. So think lipstick cases, cream tubes, powder compacts and everything. We have a global presence in Asia, Europe and the United States. We have been trusted by more than 120 brands. We're expecting to close this year just shy of 20 million USD in sales and have around 45 people worldwide in 5 different countries. Now, Augustin will show you a little bit what is Idealis for those of you who don't know.
Thank you, Arnaud. So I will just present very quick who is Idealis. So we are Idealis Group. We are a company of 80 years of experience. We are working with Odoo since 13 years. We have 2 offices mainly like in Belgium, in Louvain-la-Neuve, but also in France and in Luxembourg. We have 3 business units, the consulting, the solution and the academy. We have more than 500 successful projects and a lot of clients like Arnaud. We are working with Odoo as a gold partner and also with SAP. And we digitalize and integrate our customer processes into a central management tool as Odoo, like we are talking today.
All right. So to give you a bit more context on why this has been a bit of a special project, first of all, I talked about the international aspects of our group. Clearly, it is working with different time zones. In Asia, in 3 different locations. In Europe, in several countries. And in the west and east coast of the United States. So that creates a challenge. That also means that we are a spread out corporation. We have some offices, but a lot of people working remotely. So all of these challenges present difficulties in doing in putting up a project that aims at bringing people together. To give you more context also on where we come from in a system perspective, we were initially with an ERP that was SAP Business One. It's been set up in 2019, back when we were only one company, using one currency, one set of accounting standards. It was not for every department. So sales basically told us, looked at it and said, we're not going to go into SAP. So there's a bit of reluctance to change. There has been little investment further to do some consolidation, to adjust to different fiscal VAT rules, etc. So aligning the accounting processes clearly was a challenge from the start. We've been growing pretty fast at Asquan from one company in 2016 to now 5. And obviously harmonizing all of that has been a challenge. We also work with different solutions. So Dropbox on one side, SharePoint another. We have Teams, WhatsApp, WeChat. So that doesn't help in breaking down the silos. And as some of you may know, mainland China also have some restrictions on most of what we use in the West. So think WhatsApp, can't have that. Dropbox, forget it. But despite that, people got used to it. People got their habits, and they've made the effort of adapting to those systems, even if they are challenging. And changing the mentality and telling people, well, you're not going to use this anymore, you're going to go for something better. People have a hard time agreeing to it by default. What started as what I like to see as a bit of an arranged wedding between Idealis and Asquan has turned out to be a real love story. We've spent many days with Augustin, and I think it's been a great collaboration. We are both very proud of this project and have really enjoyed it.
So with all the challenges that Arnaud just present, what were the benefits? So at the beginning of the project, we were aware of all those challenges, and we already put some stuff in place to face those challenges. So here we'll talk about what we had and what were the benefits in the collaboration between Idealis and Asquan. First of all, from the Asquan side, we had Arnaud, which were a dedicated project manager for the project. So he was our single point of contact, and he made then the dispatch between all the different countries and different companies. He also goes to China, to Hong Kong, to see the team in real, and then we made calls together, and he then goes on site with the people, with the end user, to help them tell their requirements, their habits to use the tool, etc. We also had on-site support because Arnaud was on-site, but also in Belgium, meaning that we had meetings on site, so our office in Belgium, but Arnaud was also on site with the team, which enables us to have like those multiple kind of on-site support, and also which were very useful in this collaboration. As Arnaud says, there were a lot of different hours between all the countries, and so we were very flexible from both sides to be able to work at the working hour of the end user. We were not checking at our working hour, but at them working hour, to make the change as smooth as possible for them, and for them to be open to make those workshops, make those training, make those meetings with us. So that was what we put on what was mainly a benefit from Asquan Group.
And from Idealis side, they've also been great in having first an excellent methodology, having the pre-workshop formations, having the workshops with the key users from day one, involving them, getting them ready, and building up competences. Having obviously great development cycles, and naturally impeccable go-live support and hypercare. Idealis has also a very dedicated team, knowing the limits of each. You can't have one person know everything, so you've been able to put the right expert at Idealis on the different tasks. That was a great help. I remember exactly 1 year ago sitting in one of those chairs and seeing the presentation of V18, coming back to Augustin and saying, look, I think we need to wait a little bit more before the go live and make the upgrade start already in V18. They've been able to turn things around, and we were not live yet, but go back to the drawing board. Luckily, we didn't have too much customization, thanks to great decisions in the past, but really step up and be hyper reactive on that front. So really, there's been good understanding since the start, making sure that we understood each other's limits and expectations, and actually, the reality of each. Yep. Now, in retrospect, there's obviously many things that we have learned that we are very happy with. There's also things that we wish we would have known earlier, that we would have done either differently or earlier. One of the very important and useful thing that we've had was having a visible sponsorship in the office, in presence of the end users. And as I said, having the workshops with those champions, bringing people up to then have the competencies and the proximity with the end users to be a sub-point of contact, so that we don't have to wait 12, 24 hours for a turnaround on a question. Having really defining the key people that are going to help each department building that experience. Second, working in an international environment, you are exposing yourself to different cultures and different languages. While English is the main language at Asquan, and we made the decision of only supporting English for Odoo, while I know that there is multi-language available, but it also comes with another layer of complexity. Yet, you can't beat a thorough explanation made in your mother tongue by an experienced user. So we've had the chance that we have people who are expert in English, also expert in Cantonese and Mandarin, that have been able to be a second layer of explanations when we got into technical details that some users could not follow in English. So that has been great. But to go further on that, I think Odoo has a great network of international network of local offices. Yep. There is the APAC headquarters for Odoo in Hong Kong, and we are now considering having those people go in office and have another layer of formations for our users. I would think that having that from the start could be a real game changer. Yeah. Naturally, the on-site training that Augustin said that I was able to do, it's invaluable. Having those language barriers and the cultural barriers that we've been able to manage, but you don't want to add another barrier that is the screen on top of that. Really, you can't beat a physical session by creating interaction, really reading the room, reading the facial expression of having this little eyebrow that raises when more complex issue comes up. Naturally, we all work with limitations. Augustin sadly could not join me in Hong Kong, but we've managed to stay in touch, and I was able to be there. Next time, sure, I would love to have you. And also, what's been very important is really defining the local support in advance. I mentioned working with the great network that Odoo has already in place. But when expanding internationally, you also have to be careful that you're going to be working with different fiscal administrations and everything. So having the right accounting partner that you are paying, but paying for those few meetings well in advance in your implementation to have them help you set up and review the accounting software, the fiscal, the tax rates, all of that. It is already hard enough, but making sure that we have everybody on the same page, speaking the same language, having your local partner understanding how your system is going to be and giving you the right advices, that is going to save you a lot of hours. We used to have our previous ERP in SAP, and then our French partner running a similar sets of book in their accounting software. I'm having nightmare just to think of the number of days spent at the end of the year reconciling both books. And clearly Odoo has, we have to give them credit. They have set up great fiscal localization, and that is an invaluable help in helping you reach that international expansion. So really, kudos to Odoo for helping your business grow on that side, and really giving you the confidence in growing internationally. Am I forgetting anything? No, I think we're good. So to wrap it up, I always kind of laughed when my CEO kept reminding me that we are a special business, we have special needs, and I didn't find it funny because it's wrong, but I find it funny because I think it's true for most businesses out there. And while it is true that we faced our own challenges, we've faced, because the way our business is, because the way our business is international, and we're working with our special challenges. I do believe that at the end of the day, most businesses face the same underlying issues, but they just materialize in one way or another, or one issue is more magnified than another in each business. And while some issues may be easy to turn a blind eye on when you're working in the same office under the same tax rates, tax rules and everything, you just can't avoid them while being international. And at the end of the day, it is all about being aware of those issues, putting the right things in place with your partner in advance, and obviously foreseeing them as best as possible. But once you're mastering that, once you have a partner that you can rely on, that you are as a client trying to be as reliable as possible as well, I think there's nothing holding you back.
Thank you, Arnaud.
Thank you, Augustin.
I think the conclusion, as Arnaud said, is just an international context don't really gives us really new challenges. It just magnifies and emphasizes all the challenges that we are all facing, even with an implementation in another project, even in Belgium, even in a project with our neighborhood, in our neighbor in Belgium, in our offices, we are facing those kind of challenges. But with the international implementation, we cannot leave them on the side. We need to face them, and as Arnaud said, we need to prepare this before. As we talked in the retrospective, the thing is that think about all those challenges before, plan, put the right partner, the right support at the right moment. And as we said, even with we have a lot of technology, a lot of screens, etc. We are all on our smartphone, our computer the whole day. But at the end, a physical presence, we cannot replace it with a screen. We've made all we do with our physical project, but we were not on site. We were facing with a screen, also in English, which is also difficult for them to not. If they are not comfortable in speaking in English, then they will not give us the right feedback, the right requirements, and maybe we will miss something, and they will just, also in the culture, etc., it's different from both countries, and maybe they will just don't say anything and just try to work as they can. And so that was a little bit the conclusion. Thanks, Arnaud, for all your great insights. Now you can ask a question, or maybe there are already questions. I will scan it on my side to see the questions. Okay. Maybe I'll ask the question.
Sure, sure.
So the first question, what have been the biggest challenges with working with multi-company? What were the issues and what would you change?
Well, I think you can't understate how indeed different people are going to react to big changes that are going to impact their workflows on the daily basis. And it's, I was saying we have a company in Hong Kong and a company in Shenzhen, so right across the border. It's literally 30 kilometers away, and the mindset is already completely different. So really, I think what is key is making sure that you have the right channels of communication ahead of time, that you are aware of those differences between a Hong Kongese person, a mainland person, an American, a French, a German, and really understanding the quirks of your business and knowing how to adapt your speech to each individual groups. Naturally, change management. I think it's like the single one most important point in every implementation. Really tailoring this change management to everyone. Obviously, you have to offer a common front, but being able to adapt your "what's in there for me" story for everyone. And no, I'm not going to lie to you. This is still something that we're struggling with. It's a daily job. It's sometimes very cyclical, but yeah, really creating time and space for people to express themselves in their own way with their quirks and being able to tailor your approach.
Thank you. Maybe more a technical question. What did you choose for hosted Odoo? And how did you decide where the servers are located?
Right. Well, that wasn't too hard. We knew that we had to have the custom version because there were a few developments that we wanted to make. Yep. We chose the simplicity of having Odoo SH. And I remember we did a very simple ping test from different locations. It turned out that the best location was in East Asia. It was a good mix between, obviously, Asia, the US, and Europe. And at the same time, this is also where we have most of our users. So, it's really finding this optimum for everybody.
Thank you. This question is, how did you select your integrator?
Well, as I said, it's a bit of a arranged wedding. Both our CEOs knew each other. We've had a look at different integrators. I've been in touch with the Odoo in Brussels, in Villeneuve, in Hong Kong, with another integrator in Belgium. And at the end of the day, Idealis has been really strong in their presentation. Honestly, I was amazed myself by the presentation, and the choice was pretty easy.
Thank you. For long-term support, how have you managed level 1 support, particularly for Cantonese and Mandarin speakers?
That's an excellent question. We are always constantly trying to improve. So I have been making myself as available as possible. I've been very curious about Odoo, and I've wanted to build up my competence and try to lead by example. I am the main point of contact still, but we are looking into having a local partner from Odoo Hong Kong spend some time in the office for having a bit more direct approach and letting people really target their question directly in their language. Was there one more question?
That was the last one.
Okay, great.
So, thank you all for being there. Thank you, Arnaud, for
Thank you, Augustin.
great presentation today. And You can come at our stand if you want to talk with us, if you have more questions, if you want to discuss with our teams and with Arnaud.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you for your presence. Bien joué, hein.